either make your life way easier in the Czech Republic, or it can completely ruin your life in the Czech Republic. So in today's video, I'll take you through everything you need to know about the bridge visa. And of course, if you have any questions, those of you who will be joining, ask them in the chat. I mean, questions related to a bridge visa, and I'll be happy to answer them. So let's kick it off with what is a bridge visa. So technically, bridge visa is a visa sticker. It's a long-term visa with all the benefit a long-term visa brings. That basically that is put into your passport by the Ministry of the Interior. So it's not issued by embassies. It's not issued by foreign police in most cases. In 99% of cases, it's issued by the Ministry of the Interior. And generally, it allows you, or it proves that you are staying in the Czech Republic legally. So it's physically, it's a visa sticker put directly into your passport at the Ministry of the Interior. Now, the important part is who can get it, or when you can get a bridge visa and when you cannot get it. And this is super important because there are some rules that you must know about, otherwise you could get in trouble. So let's go. Family members of EU citizens. Obviously, if you come here as a family member of an EU citizen and you're applying either for the partnership visa or for the temporary residence permit for close family members of EU citizens, if you submit your application in time, meaning while you are legally staying in the Czech Republic, so usually it's within your 90 days or within the validity of your short-term visa, and if you submit it with all the important documentation related to your relationship, Jan, you're so original. Anyway, then you can get a bridge visa right on the spot when you're submitting the partnership visa application, and you're good. So partnership visa, one situation. If you're applying for an extension of a long-term visa, which is very, very unique situation, which most of you will never encounter, but we use it with our clients sometimes. What it basically means is that you got your visa, the initial long-term visa, not for a full year, but maybe for 8 months or 6 months or 10 months or whatever. And for some reason, you just want to extend it for the remainder. So for the missing 2 months or 4 months or whatever. In most cases, it does not make sense, but there are some specific cases where we use it. So if you're extending your long-term visa, you can get a bridge visa. If you're switching, this is the most common case, if you're switching from a long-term visa to a long-term residence permit, or then if you're applying for extension of those, of residence permits. So let's say you came here under a family reunification visa, now you're applying for a family reunification residence permit, then you can get a bridge visa. Or you have a student residence permit, you're applying for extension of your student residence permit, you can get a bridge visa. If you have an employee card, blue card, you're applying for extension, you can get a bridge visa. Simple as that. Who cannot get a bridge visa? Let me get to it. Let me just see if you have any questions. This is all hi. I have asked you a very detailed and interesting question in your last video. I'll be extremely glad if you can answer it. Thanks. If it's related to the topic of the previous video or the bridge visa, ask it now and I'll be happy to answer it. If it's not related to the topic, I will not be answering it because I don't do the open Q&As live streams now. I do it, but only in the joiners section. So if you want to ask me questions about different topics, join the whatever membership part of YouTube and I'll be happy to do it there. What's the difference between long-term stay visa and residence permit? I'm confused. Okay, so and I have a Czech partner, same-sex marriage. So in that case, you would be applying for long-term visa, no for long-term residence permit, but for the partnership visa. But again, that's not related to this. Get in touch through the contact somewhere in my bio, wherever you go, there is a link, which you can just like fill in and I'll be happy to get back to you and explain everything. Integration course, employee card, to be honest, Cool. Okay, so if you've already joined the membership, so when I finish this live stream, I will immediately go live just for joiners, for the members, and ask me the question there. So when I finish this one, I'll immediately go to the joiners section and I will have another live stream there. So ask me the question there. That's the perfect way to do that. So back to the topic of the bridge visa. And thank you, by the way. So who cannot get the bridge visa? That's super important because this can get you into trouble if you don't know these two rules. First is if you're applying at the Czech embassy, because the bridge visa is meant to bridge the period from when your one visa you have now or one residence permit you have now expires until the new one starts. That's why it's bridge visa, because that bridges like expiration and a new visa or residence permit. If you are applying for your first visa or first residence permit, there is nothing to bridge. So you cannot get a bridge visa if you're applying through an embassy. And this is especially important for Americans, Australians, Canadians, all those of you who submit your applications at some Czech embassies in Europe. So if you go to Dresden, people often ask us, okay, so can I get a bridge visa? Can I stay past the 90 days? Unfortunately, no, because there is nothing to bridge. You're not here under any type of visa. You're here under the visa-free stay. So there is nothing to bridge. You cannot get a bridge visa. So this is one very important exception where you cannot get a bridge visa. And second, which is even more important, I would say, that's when you're applying for a permanent residence permit. Because permanent residence permit is a completely different legally status. And the bridge visa always comes from the previous visa you had or the residence permit you had. And you just cannot get it for the permanent residency. What it means though is that if you applied for permanent residency and your current long-term residency expires as well soon, then you need to apply both for extension and for your permanent residency, and then you can get a bridge visa. But the bridge visa will not be based on the permanent residency, but it will be based on the current residence permit you are extending. So you can, because I've already posted a short video on YouTube and there were a couple comments that I got my bridge visa when I was applying for the PR. You can get a bridge visa, but it's not based on the PR application, but on your extension application of the current residence permit you have, because the law specifically says you cannot get a bridge visa when applying for permanent residence permit. So keep it in mind if you're applying for, or even if you applied for permanent residence permit 6 months ago, it's now still in process and your current residence permit is expiring, remember that you have to submit the extension application to be able to stay here legally and potentially get the bridge visa. So that's important. How to get the bridge visa? Okay, can you answer my question? I have an employee card. Do I need to take adaptation and integration course? Guys, I don't do the open Q&A sessions at this point. I only do it for people who are joiners, who are members of the community. I do always, after this public free live stream, I go to the joiner section, to the paid section, and I do the open Q&As there. So you can ask me any questions there. I'll stay as long as needed to answer all your questions. During these free live streams, I answer questions as well, just those that are related to the topic I'm talking about. Work visa, that's also PR to citizenship. Let's say PR card will expire. If you're waiting for your citizenship and you already have your PR, which is a requirement for the citizenship, the permanent residency status is permanent. So the status does not change. You basically just get a new permanent residence card every 10 years, but there is basically no application, no documents you need. You just basically go and do new fingerprints and get a new card. So there is no bridge visa you would need. Potentially might be different if you need to travel somewhere and your card expires. That might be a weird situation. Honestly, I don't know if you can get a bridge visa for that. It's better to plan it the way that you only travel, either you come back before the card expires or after you get a new one. Ano, jsem z České republiky, z Matičky Prahy. Okay, let's continue. How to get the bridge visa? That's pretty simple. You basically, if you're submitting your application, extension application, or if you're switching from the visa to the residence permit, you get the bridge visa directly on the spot when you're submitting your application. So you give them your documents. Hello, dobrý den. I want to apply for my employee card extension. Here are my documents. And please, here is my passport. Give me my bridging visa. As simple as that. There is no special application form. There is no fee you need to pay. Nothing like that. You just request it. They give it to you. One thing or two things here. First, you can only get the bridging visa within the last month of the validity of your current visa or residence permit. So if you're applying for an extension of your employee card, for example, 3 months in advance, at that point you will not be able to get a bridge visa because they will tell you, okay, you will get the employee card extension approved within those 3 months. You don't need a bridge visa, blah, blah, blah. You will not very likely get the extension approved. And if yes, you will not even do the fingerprints and get a card, but they will tell you that. So you can only do it within the last month of the validity. But it's very simple. If you submitted your application 3 months ago, now it's still in process, your current residency expires, you just need to book an appointment with the ministry, go there for the appointment, they give you the bridge visa on the spot. One more thing here is that during COVID, they didn't want to give the bridge visas at all unless you had proof that you need to travel somewhere. So you had flight tickets booked, and only then, if you prove that you really had to travel, blah, 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 they would give you the bridge visa. Some officers still do it the same way. So they will try to make it difficult for you to get the bridge visa, and they will tell you, okay, but you must show me some flight tickets or show me why you need the bridge visa, whatever. You have a right to get the bridge visa, so they should give it to you, even if they don't want to. But if you have something like that to support why you need the bridge visa, if you have flight tickets or something, bring it with you. It might make it easier for you to explain. What does a bridge visa allow you to do? Okay, couple things. One, it proves that you are legally staying in the Czech Republic, because if you submit your application in time and properly, so ideally before the current visa or residence permit expires, you will be under something called fiction of residence, which means that even if your visa or residence permit expires, you are legally staying in the Czech Republic under this fiction of residence. And all the Czech authorities will see that, or at least the important ones like police or the Ministry of the Interior, they will see that. So if someone stops you on the street and they will check your passport and the visa is expired, whatever, they will see that you are still legal here. So if you only plan on staying in the Czech Republic, does not really matter if you get the bridge visa or not. But if you go to other countries, they will not see if you are, or they might not see if you are in the extension process in the Czech Republic. So you should get the bridge visa too, because it's a proof that you are still legal in the Czech Republic, that you can come back, that you can travel outside. It also kind of might be important for your employer, for example, because we also work for employers. We work with private clients as well as you watching us, or watching me now, us. We are 2-3 people here right now. In my head, we are 7. Anyway, yeah, I'm not mocking size of Phoenix or however it's called in English. I'm just funny. Anyway, so back to the topic. We work also for companies, and for companies, if company is our client, we would tell them don't hire someone or don't continue the employment contract or something if they don't bring you a bridge visa. It's not like 100% necessary, but for the employer, it's the safe thing to do, because they will make a copy, they put it in your records, and if there is any time in the future any Czech from the labor office or whoever will go there, and they will want to see, like, based on what they employed you, they will have this confirmation that you are still legal in the Czech Republic, you were allowed to work, and they will be fine. If they don't have that, 5 years later, no one will remember if you had a bridging visa, if you were in the process, what you told them. So it's for employers, we always recommend requesting a bridging visa from their employees. So you might need it in these cases as well to prove that you can work. Yeah, the bridging visa generally allows you to continue the previous purpose of stay, because the bridging visa is always based on the previous or the current residence permit you have. So if you have a student residence permit and you're switching to an employee card, the bridge visa is based on your student residence permit. So it's still considered as if you had a student visa or student residence permit until you get the employee card, for example. So that also is important for counting your 5 years towards the permanent residency, for example, all that. And also, as I mentioned, it allows you to travel to other countries. Again, for some nationalities, it might not be necessary. For example, Americans, Canadians, those with 90 days visa-free stay could potentially travel even without the bridging visa. But the bridging visa proves that you are still legal in the Czech Republic, and there should be no problems getting back to Schengen, for example. Let me see if there are some questions related to the bridging visa. Middle East, family relocation. Guys, if you have any questions that are not related to the bridging visa, I will be happy to answer them. Ideally, go to my profile somewhere and go to click the link there, and it will take you to our website where you can fill in a form, describe your situation. It sends us an email, and we'll be happy to get back to you. Because these live streams I do now are topic based and topic specific. So I will be happy to answer all your questions now if they are about the bridging visa. If you have some other questions, either fill in the form and I'll be happy to get back to you later via email or call or whatever. Or you can also join the subscribers section, or I don't know, the paid section here, $8 a month for 8 live streams where I answer your questions specifically. Because I always do this free live stream, the topical one, and then I go directly to the joiners section, and I answer all the questions there directly, and I stay as long as needed to answer all your questions. So also you can join the joiners section, and I'll be happy to do a live stream right after this one and answer everything there. Okay, so what else do we have about this topic? Long term. How long does the bridge visa last? Okay, that's a good question. Officially, the bridge visa should cover the legal period until you get the new visa or residence permit or the extension or whatever. So let's say if you're applying for extension, which should take 60 to 90 days, you should get 60 to 90 days bridging visa. That's the kind of cleanest way to put it, and most of the officers there would do it that way. Those officers who know how long are the actual approval times will probably give you even longer. Some grumpy officers, depending on how they slept that night, they might also give you even shorter one. They could tell you, okay, you will be approved soon, I will not give you anything longer than 60 days. Those who know, and for example, for the partnership visa, they can give you up to 180 days of a bridge visa. And if they know how long it takes, they will give it to you, because the partnership visa usually takes 4 to 6 months to get approved. Plus you still need to give the fingerprints, which takes a couple of weeks to get the appointment for that. And then 2-3 weeks later, or 2-3 weeks waiting for the actual card to be issued. So even after you get approved, you still need like 2 more months to actually get the card. So potentially the ministry can give you up to 180 days of a bridge visa. In real life, it's anything between usually 2 months, minimum like 60 days, to 120. I would say 60 to 90 would be the most common. 120 is also kind of often given. 180 can be I've only seen it in case of the partnership visa, because that really takes long. For other visas or other residence permits, usually 60 to 120. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there are no other like topics I would like to cover here. Maybe just like if there is a fee for the bridge visa, no, that there is no fee for that, so you don't have to pay for that to the ministry. And yeah, that's it. Let's see. Czech Republic work visa ratio from Middle East. That's also not related to this topic. Okay, guys, I will give you, let's say, 1 more minute. If you have any questions regarding the bridging visa or the bridge visa, please ask. If not, then I will finish this live stream and then I will go to the joiners section and I will do the free or open live Q&As questions there. So those of you who are joiners, there will be a special live stream just for you where we can talk and just get all your questions unrelated to bridge visa answered. Okay, so it doesn't seem that there is, okay, you're still waiting for your biometric appointment. Can you show the, okay, so if you're still waiting for your biometrics appointment, can you show the bridge visa to potential employers in case they want to know you're a resident? Yes, I talked about it a couple minutes ago, because we also work for employers. We work for private people, private clients, and we also work for companies, for employers. So if we work with an employer and they say, hey, we want to hire this person, what would you recommend? Then we always recommend having the confirmation that you submitted your application, because that shows what kind of application you submitted, which can tell us, for example, if you have free access to the labor market, if you can work or not. Second, there is the application number, so we can track it and we can see if you get denied, for example, then we see that the company should immediately like terminate the contract and fire you, not to get any trouble, not to get any fines. So definitely the submission or the confirmation of submitting the application, and then a bridging visa, because that shows that you are allowed to stay in the Czech Republic. So these two things we would request as employers from anyone, any potential employees. Different employers might have different approaches. Some of them will not hire you if you don't have a card, because they don't know how it works and they don't want to risk anything. Some employers do not know how it works and they don't care, so they will hire you even if you don't show them anything. So it depends, it varies employer to employer, but the safest way to do it is to have a confirmation of submitting the application and the bridge visa. How many times can a bridging visa be renewed until a decision is made on the application? Yeah, generally yes. Yeah, it sucks, but I've seen bridging visas being renewed like 4 times. Not sure if we've had anything more than 4 times, but 4 times we definitely had. So yeah, it should bridge the period from one of your visas expiring or residence permits until you get the new one. So if it takes 3 years, you should be able to get 3 years of bridging visas. Jadviga joined really late. Well, you can rewatch it. That will be on YouTube the whole time. But I answered your question anyway, I believe so. Okay, guys, so no more questions related to the bridging visa. So thank you very much for being here. If you have any questions that are not related to the bridge visa, please either comment under the video or go to the link, go to my bio, and there is a link where you can just contact us directly. Or you can become a joiner for $8 a month. You get 8 live streams with Q&As that are, you can ask me as many questions as you want in a private live stream, which I will be doing just now when I finish this one. So thank you very much, guys, for being here, and I will see you again Monday, Thursday, until the end of the world. Good night. Bye-bye.